One of the important aspects of any program development project is to document your code. And one way you can document your code is by writing comments or remarks directly in your program itself. Writing comments in your code allows a person, either whether it be yourself or a future programmer, to review in plain English what your thought was and what your solution was to a particular problem. Or it may simply identify things that will make the debugging and program maintenance process a lot easier in the future. This is particularly true if you're working in a group or a team of programmers where you have multiple people and you have multiple ideas and thoughts that need to be put down for future use. Using our address label maker program, you see that I have added two additional buttons. One is a clear form button and an exit button. Now, I've already documented the create label button. By opening up the code window, you'll see that I already have a comment that says creates complete address label. And I want to note that you don't have to just create one comment for event procedure. If necessary, you could create a comment for every line. Now, sometimes that's a bit much, but it is possible. You could have a line for every comment. Now, it's important to note that the comments themselves are not executable, which simply means that the comment does not tell the computer to do or act upon anything. It is simply there for humans to read and to understand and to help in the interpretation of the code. Now, returning to our form, let's create a comment for the clear form button. Now, we'll discuss the code for the clear form button shortly, but the first thing I want to do is to comment that. So I simply double click, and that opens up my code window for my so-called reset form button. And I simply want to begin with an apostrophe and write a comment such as, this button will clear the contents of the text boxes and allow for additional input by the user. Now, I purposely made this a fairly long comment so as to show you that, number one, it will indeed scroll across the screen. And that's okay. That does not bother Visual Basic whatsoever. If, however, you want to be able to view the entire comment, you can simply break the line. For example, after the word and, I can simply press the enter key. And then notice that you will need another apostrophe before the first letter of the first word of the second line. So now you have the entire comment. Technically it's two comments, but it's really one sentence. This button will clear the contents of the text boxes and allow additional input by the user. So then you could then write your code below that. Again, we will revisit this soon. Returning to the form, I will also write a comment for the exit button. Just as you might expect, the purpose of this button is to exit or close the program. So I'll simply write that this button exits the program, or something along those lines. Again, the comment is entirely up to you in terms of syntax, spelling. Whatever words you spell there will appear exactly as you type them. They will not be corrected. No syntax errors are possible with comments, other than the fact that you may leave out the apostrophe. If you do leave out the apostrophe, such as this, you will get some syntax messages. But once you type the apostrophe and finish that line, no matter what you type from that point forward will be accepted.